Welcome to our conversation on nutritional wisdom for seniors, where we dive deep into those foods and beverages that might just be doing more harm than good as we age.
Absolutely, it's such an important topic. So much of the content we explore today guides seniors to make healthier choices.
Right? And one of the first points we touch upon is that excessive added sugars, especially from sugary beverages, can really throw off metabolic balance in our senior
Yes.
years. It's like when you drink sodas and fruit juices with added sugars, you're basically inviting a rapid sugar spike that could worsen type 2 diabetes and even impact cardiovascular health.
Yeah, and what's interesting is that the sugar doesn't just affect blood sugar levels, but can also worsen inflammation. It's a double-edged sword, especially for seniors who often already contend with chronic inflammatory conditions, right?
Exactly. Even in younger adults, that sugar surge is problematic, but for seniors, reduced insulin sensitivity and other metabolic changes make it even more
Right,
concerning.
indeed.
And it's not only about diabetes, there's also cognitive decline, dental issues, and heart problems that could come into play.
hmm Which reminds me of how our discussion emphasizes that it's not simply a matter of restriction, but really about making informed choices. So, for example, opting for water, maybe with natural infusions like cucumber or lemon, can really substitute those sugary drinks.
Absolutely. And moving on, we also cover the issue of high sodium intake. Processed foods like canned soups, frozen dinners, and even processed meats can bombard seniors with sodium, leading to elevated blood pressure and even kidney issues. It's almost like each meal can be a ticking
Exactly.
time bomb if one isn't careful.
And you know, I sometimes respectfully challenge the notion that convenience should trump health. Sure, canned goods and frozen dinners save time, but the cumulative high sodium intake can really compromise cardiovascular health over time.
Right. And that's why it's so crucial to read nutrition labels. Even something as simple as opting for a low sodium version can make a huge difference over months and years.
Yep,
When we
truly.
talk about sodium, we're really emphasizing a lifestyle shift towards more home cooked meals.
And speaking of home cooked meals, the conversation also dives into fats. Specifically, those fats that are less than ideal, unhealthy trans fats, and excessive saturated fats found in fried foods and many baked goods.
Exactly. Unhealthy trans fats, often from partially hydrogenated oils, can mess with cholesterol levels, raising the bad and lowering the good, and saturated fats, while not as nefarious, can still contribute to heart
Hanging in
issues
there.
if consumed too much. It really becomes a balancing act for seniors with existing cardiovascular concerns.
Definitely. And what I find interesting is that they discuss healthier alternatives like avocados, nuts, seeds, and olive oil. It's a compelling invitation to opt for, fats that are actually beneficial for heart health.
Right. It's like switching from a gasoline car to an electric car in terms of efficiency. The healthier fats not only support cardiovascular health, but also combat systemic inflammation, which is a frequent issue in seniors.
So
But I
true.
do wonder if the complete avoidance is realistic for everyone.
I respectfully, I have to say that while complete avoidance of harmful fats is ideal, it might be challenging in real life. Some individuals might still indulge on occasion, but the key is moderation and balance, right?
Exactly. Moderation is the watchword, not perfection. Now, another set of concerns we address is the risk associated with raw or undercooked meats, poultry, seafood, and eggs among seniors.
Yes, indeed. With aging comes a naturally less robust immune system. So even foods that might be adventurous for the young can pose severe risks for seniors. Imagine the dangers posed by bacteria like Salmonella or Listeria.
Right, and these infections can lead to severe complications for seniors like gastrointestinal distress or even potentially life threatening sepsis. It really
True.
underscores the importance of cooking foods thoroughly and using food thermometers to ensure safety.
And let's not overlook the simple hygiene practices like washing hands and keeping raw and cooked foods separate, which can go a long way in preventing cross-contamination.
Absolutely. Now, moving on to a topic that many might hesitate to discuss: alcohol consumption. While not a food, it certainly has nutritional and health implications for seniors.
Yes, alcohol is a nuanced topic. As we age, our bodies process alcohol differently. Less body water means that the same amount of alcohol results in a higher concentration in the blood, which can mean more severe effects.
Exactly. And there's the added risk of negative interactions with medications. Many seniors take prescriptions for conditions like high blood pressure or diabetes, and alcohol can interfere with these medications or potentiate side effects. It
Absolutely.
really calls for a cautious approach.
And beyond just the immediate effects, regular alcohol use can increase the risk of falls, cognitive issues, and even liver problems over time.
Precisely. So, whether it's moderating alcohol intake to one standard drink a day or avoiding it altogether, the emphasis here is really on personal health and
Personal health
safety.
is key.
Yet, I also wonder if there might be some cultural or social pressures that complicate this advice.
That's a valid point. In many cultures, alcohol is woven into social rituals, so the decision to cut back isn't just a health decision, it's a lifestyle adjustment.
Right, and our discussion suggests that seniors should really consult with their doctors before making any drastic changes to their alcohol consumption habits, ensuring that any choice made is tailored to their overall medication regimen and health status.
That's wise advice. Now let's touch on another major issue the content highlights: highly processed and nutritionally empty foods.
Yes, these are the foods that seem harmless, like white bread, refined snacks, certain cereals, but they provide very little in terms of essential nutrients like vitamins, minerals, and fiber. They
Yeah,
displace
exactly.
more nutrient-dense foods in the diet, and that's a big problem when every calorie should be packed with value, especially for seniors.
And low fiber can lead to digestive issues like constipation, which, let's face it, is already a seasonal complaint among many seniors.
Exactly, and the rapid energy spikes followed by crashes just aren't suitable for a steady level of energy through the day. The focus then is really on switching to whole grains, fresh fruits, vegetables, and lean proteins.
Right
It's
on.
about ensuring every bite counts toward overall health.
And the takeaway from all these points is that while it may seem daunting to overhaul one's diet later in life, even small, gradual changes can yield significant improvements in energy, disease management, and overall quality of life.
Absolutely. It's a transformative journey, not a complete diet shock, where every healthier choice is like laying another brick in the foundation for a better, more vibrant future, and every meal becomes an
I love that
opportunity to
analogy.
nurture and heal.
Now, if we circle back to the discussion of unhealthy fats, I've been thinking about how sometimes our advice seems very prescriptive, yet for some individuals, completely eliminating those foods might not be feasible. Would you agree?
I do, and I think it's important to stress that moderation is our friend. It's not that seniors need to ban every fried or commercially baked treat from their life, but rather to balance them with nutrient dense options. One
Balance for sure.
misstep isn't the end of the world as long as most choices are good for you.
Exactly. It's really a conversation about long-term perspective, gradually shifting patterns over time rather than expecting an overnight miracle.
Mm-mm. And that ties in nicely with our concluding thoughts. It's about empowerment through informed choices. When seniors understand the why behind these dietary recommendations, from managing inflammation to supporting cardiovascular and cognitive health, they can truly make decisions that benefit them in the long run.
Yes, absolutely. And then there's the reassurance that perfect adherence isn't expected. It's all about progress, and even small improvements can have profound effects on overall vitality.
Exactly. Whether it's choosing water over sugary drinks, opting for low sodium options, or simply adding more whole foods to the menu, every change helps build a healthier routine.
I totally
And it's
agree.
not about losing the joy in eating. It's about mindful eating that still allows for the pleasures of taste and social connection.
That's a great point. Food has always been a celebration of culture and life. Even when making healthier choices, there's room for enjoyment as long as it's balanced and informed.
Right, and we've touched upon all these aspects, from the perils of added sugars, excessive sodium, unhealthy fats, raw or undercooked food risks, alcohol moderation to avoiding processed, empty
Yep,
foods.
very
It
comprehensive.
gives listeners a complete picture of how these choices evolve with age.
And while it might seem overwhelming at first, the approach that emerges is one of gradual, manageable change. Health isn't an instantaneous fix, but a series of mindful steps taken day by day.
Exactly. I'd even compare it to tending a garden, nurturing, caring, and slowly watching the benefits bloom over time. You water
I
it,
like that
you pay
analogy.
attention to what it needs, and gradually you reap the rewards.
Absolutely. Plus, regardless of where each person is starting from, small consistent changes can lead to remarkable improvements in energy levels, mood, and managing chronic conditions.
Right, and that's our final takeaway here. Embracing these shifts lets seniors reclaim control over their health without ever feeling like they're sacrificing flavor or joy in their meals.
So true.
It's a proactive approach in an evolving journey toward better well-being.
And remember, it's always wise to consult a healthcare provider because personal health nuances matter greatly in making these decisions.
Yep, absolutely. Every individual situation is unique. What works for one might need tweaking for
Indeed.
another. Our goal is to build awareness and support smarter choices in everyday eating habits.
Certainly, and as we wrap up our discussion, we encourage everyone to approach their diet not with fear, but with a spirit of exploration and care, making one nourishing choice at a time.
Exactly. Think of it as a continuous conversation with your own body, listening and adjusting as needed. Every healthy decision paves way for a more robust life, especially as the years go by.
Yep. So whether it's swapping that soda for water with a slice of lemon, choosing fresh ingredients over packaged meals, or simply being mindful of portion sizes and quality, remember that each step is a victory.
Absolutely. We hope that this deep dive into these topics not only informs but inspires wiser and more mindful eating practices.
Very well said.
And let that be a call to action for all our listeners. Take these insights and apply them one meal at a time for a healthier, happier you.
Thank you for joining in on this robust conversation. Remember, your health is the most valuable asset you have.
Thanks for listening, and here's to many nourishing meals ahead. Stay well, stay informed, and keep savoring every bite with care.